All right, lovelies, welcome to season 4, episode 1 of Stace and Barry in the morning. We're bringing you breakfast and geek news and geek reviews and other stuff as well, but not really the breakfast. I lied about that. Hey, well, welcome to Stace and Barry. I'm the Stace half of that terrible song, and the other half is the Barry half. Morning, Barry.
Morning all. What up, dogs?
What up, dogs, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh dear, you're right, dude.
Yeah, I'm doing diddly doing me. That sounds wrong.
I don't know what any of that meant.
No, me neither. And I'm only drinking squash.
I was just going to say, did you get struck down with a bit of Ned Flanders-itis there for a second?
Diddly diddly do.
Well done, diddly do, yes.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sleepy, so I'll probably just be like giggling and snorting and maybe nodding off, who knows?
Yeah, but not snorting cocaine, kids, because cocaine's bad.
No, I mean snorting like giggling but also snoring at the same time. Yeah, anyway.
Oh.
No, I mean, I'd like to think that I'm not going to fall asleep, but I can't guarantee it because I am very tired.
Okay.
So sorry if I do. Just be really interesting, Barry, no pressure.
Okay. Hey, that's what some people call interesting. I just call a Tuesday.
Oh, it's Saturday?
We're still on that one. Okay.
You've got to be Saturday interesting.
Okay, I've got to be Saturday. That's fine. I can do that. We're at the red carpet, people, because I'm about to get interesting. It's about to get real.
Oh, let's get interesting. The lesser known Darkwing Duck quote.
Fucking hell.
Shall I just do a trumpet?
Just do a trumpet. God damn it.
Cool. Jazz. Pick of the fortnight. Barry, you go first.
Okay.
Because I've said a lot of rambling words already.
Okay. So my pick of the fortnight. I've got one pick and 2 honourable mentions because that's how I'm going to slip that bad boy in.
Fine.
Like a knife into the ribs. So my actual pick of the fortnight is an audio drama or a series of audio dramas. Hey, trying to get a little bit cultured in season 4. Nice. It's taken me 4 seasons to up the game. So I've been after what I felt was I don't want to labour the point, so I won't go on about it, but I'll just say the horrendous last Doctor Who special. That's all I'll say about it. I decided I needed a bit of a palate cleanser, and I thought, it's been ages since I've listened to anything from the Big Finish lot, who do like a lot of Doctor Who audio dramas. Well, by a lot, that's a mild understatement. It's like a universe. So I decided to check out their Unit box sets. And for those who don't know, Unit are unified. I don't know. They're like a special ops group that fight aliens on Earth, and they've worked with the Doctor over the years. I can't remember what Unit stands for. You think I should, since I've listened to like 3 or 4 box sets now, but yeah, everyone calls them Unit. So hey, So basically, the series has been going for a while, and then they've done a new series. But this series features characters from the Unit from the new Who.
Okay.
You've got Gemma Redgrave, who was Kate Stewart, head of Unit, and you've got Ingrid Oliver, who was Osgood.
Oh yeah, people say I look like her. I don't know why.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
She's fit, so I'll let people say it.
There you go. Roll with it. Don't question it, Stace. Just roll with it. And I've been hoovering these bad boys up.
Nice.
The first one I listened to is called Extinction, and then I've listened to like another 3 box sets afterwards, and I just love them. I love them, and I think now I've always loved the Big Finish Doctor Who stuff anyway, but I'm so like immersed in it now that they could actually cancel. I don't want to because I want to see what the new Doctor's going to be like, but they could actually cancel Doctor Who, and I'd be like, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's because it's so good. And what's really good about the Unit stuff is like the Doctor's kind of mentioned, and I think in some of the later ones, I think some of the different incarnations of the Doctor do pop up. But in the I've listened to four box sets, and it stands very well without the Doctor, which is something else that I quite like about it as well. Acting's phenomenal. It's great effects on it. You know, the intro is just phenomenal. Whenever that intro kicks in, you know shit's about to get real. So so my only thing with Big Finish that I really wish they would do is I wish they would do some sort of Netflix type deal where you just paid a monthly fee and it just gave you access to like the entire catalogue.
Yeah.
Rather than sort of having to like buy box set after box set after box set. I mean, obviously, I get it from their point of view; they want to make a profit. But from my point of view, I would rather they do something like that. Yeah.
Ooh, I might have to check some of that stuff out, because I was saying to Rich the other day, I wasn't that excited by the new Doctor announcement, and it's nothing against Ncuti Gatwa, because I've never seen him in anything, so he might be amazing. I don't know, but it was because I've realised I'm just not excited about Doctor Who anymore, and I think it's because it's been like a bit of lackluster writing, but also it feels to me like if you told me there'd only been like 5 episodes in the last 5 years, I'd believe you, because the scheduling has been that weird and shitty. And I know like COVID was a huge thing with getting stuff, you know, made in 2020 and early 2021 and stuff. So I get it. But like even before then, it felt like there was like, oh, we're going to start this series, but we're only going to put 2 episodes on, and then we're going to have like a 6-month gap, and then we're going to put 2 more on, and then there'll be 3 weeks. And so like I just feel like it's lost all of its momentum in my own head. But I still like Doctor, and I still want to like Doctor Who. So
Yeah.
I don't really listen to audio dramas, though. I've only ever listened to one, and it was the first season of Raygun and Starburst, and then I starred in series 2 and didn't listen to it because I was scared I might be rubbish. I still haven't listened to it because I'm still scared that I might be rubbish.
Here's the reason.
Yeah, I'm sure there must be actors out there, you know, that like don't watch the stuff that they're in because they like just cringe themselves to death. But anyway, yeah, I might give those a whirl, is what I was trying to say.
I watch the BBC shows that Dave and I do like literally on a weekly basis.
You're trying to keep those numbers up to get him to do it again.
Yeah, I kind of have it. I even have it in my Outlook calendar to remind me. Oh, it's Saturday. Time to watch me on BBC again. I would heartily recommend you check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What were your honourable mentions?
So my honourable mentions, which I mention quickly, are the first was the Batman, the film.
Okay.
Really enjoyed it. It was nice to see Batman being portrayed as an actual detective rather than as a scary ninja who beats people up. Sue's review of the Batman was it was a bit boring, and why are his shoes still shit?
I've got to say, I did not notice his shoes in it. So
yeah, she's got this whole thing about the last couple of Batman films him having really shit footwear. I don't know. It's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know. And my other honourable mention is Doom Patrol.
Ooh, the TV show or
Yes.
the comics? Okay.
The TV show, although I am planning to pick up some comics, I think, because I'm absolutely loving the TV show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've only started. Have you watched it?
No, we watched like the first episode of it, and we were like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And then I don't know why we just never went back and finished any of it.
Yeah, it's weird because Dave had been raving about it, and I was obviously in one of my I'm just going to ignore Dave moments. And
what does he know about pop culture?
What's he know? Anyone would think he does a podcast or anything. If anyone just heard my chair creaked, I didn't fart. It was my chair actually creaked.
Of course, yeah. Sure,
yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So I kind of sat down to watch it with. I'm on episode 5 now of season 1. And I'm loving it because it's got a proper old school pulp, weird sci-fi vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's also got a lot of heart as well, which I quite like. And it just feels different. To some of the stuff. And even though it can be a little bit dark at times from an emotional point of view, it's not dark in that kind of, everyone's just an arse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of superhero show we seem to be kind of trapped in a little bit. So yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. Anything with Timothy Dalton, who's basically being Professor X, I'm there for days.
That'll do.
Yep. So that's me done. Good
Nice.
Fortnite. Ow.
Well, I've sort of got two pick of the fortnights, but one of them I can do really quickly because I don't want to spoil it, and that is to say Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a bit fucking wonderful.
I thought that might be.
Yeah, I went to see it last Thursday morning, and I don't think I've seen a Marvel movie like it, and that's all I'm going to say, because to say anything more about anything else is I'm going to start verging on spoiler territory, and I don't want to do that to people because I'm not. I'm a raging arse honker, despite, contrary to popular belief. But yeah, I was not anticipating enjoying it that much, because Doctor Strange for me was like a solid mid-Marvel, like mid-tier Marvel movie. Like, yes, it's fine. I'll watch it again when I do rewatches, but I'm not gonna like watch it 1,000 times like I have Spider-Man Far From Home, for example.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh yeah, this should be pretty good. It just starts and it doesn't fuck around, and then it goes bananas for like 2 straight hours. You're like, what am I even looking at? It's so good. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, there's that. But my actual pick of the fortnight is a TV show called From, which I don't know which streaming service it's on, if it's on if it's on one of them, because there's too many and I don't pay attention. But it's an American TV show that is, it's hard to describe. It's kind of similar to, did you watch Midnight Mass by any chance?
No, it's on a list to watch, but I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Well, I thought Midnight Mass was one of those shows where it was like, everything about it was brilliant, except it was just too slow for me personally. Like,
right.
It was just too exposition-y a lot of the time, and I wanted to like wind it up and get it going. But everything else about, and it was annoying because everything else about it was like basically perfect. So it's quite frustrating when you just like get on with it. Whereas this, I really liked From, because it doesn't mess around. It's got a similar sort of feel to Midnight Mass, but it doesn't mess around at all. And it's about, and what I'm going to say now is technically sort of mini spoilers, but it's from like the first half of the first episode. So it's just like the basic premise. It's about this group of people who are stuck in a small, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a village. It's so small. It's in a small sort of gathering-y community that they are like literally trapped in, but not by any sort of physical presence. So like
right.
literally they try and drive out and they'll come back in the same like road but the other side of the little village.
Oh
like
yeah, I get you.
Like it's, yeah. There's something supernatural is occurring that is keeping them in this place. And the place also at night is like overrun by these sort of vampires. They're like weird monster type people things who try and get in your house and do you a murder, but they can only come in if you invite them in and stuff. So it's basically like a nightmare town. They can't get any word out and they don't get any word in from other places. Everybody who's there was like traveling somewhere different and just happened upon this place. So it's not like a black hole that's just like sucked them in from like this one particular road. It's like people in Florida, people in like Canada, like people are getting sucked into this place, and it's all about how they're like trying to live with each other and survive. But also there's like sort of weird sort of like premonitions happening, and some of the people are going a bit doolally, and then there's also other people who are trying to figure out like what is this supernatural fucking nonsense that's happening and why is it happening to us. And I've been finding it really, really mesmerizing. Like it's really gripping. The only actor I knew in it is Harold Perrineau, who I think was,
he was in Lost. Sorry, I was looking up From. It's on.
Yeah.
It's on a channel called Epics.
Epics.
Yeah,
Okay.
which
I've
I
never
can't see that. I can't see that anywhere.
No. I have a feeling it's coming to Netflix at some point in the not too distant future, but don't hold me to that because I'm not Mr. Netflix. I don't I don't control what comes out on Netflix, lads. But yeah, I like him a lot. I've only seen him in a couple of things before. So I think he played an angel in something, and I can't place in my head what it was. Might have been Constantine, might have been Lucifer, don't remember. But something akin to that anyway. But I really like him. I find him like a really sort of I think he's really good at playing the kind of guy who's like flawed but genuinely a good dude, and you want like you really root for him throughout the show. Yeah, so I've just been finding it really interesting because it's one of those shows that's like it's intriguing enough to keep you interested, but it feeds you enough so that you're not just going, "What the fuck is happening, though?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and I would highly recommend.
Okay.
I will give you all a spoiler warning though for the final episode. Yeah, it's only a very short scene, and thankfully Rich found out it before we watched the episode, so he was like, "Right, it's coming." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna look at my shoes. Oh, what great shoes I'm wearing today."
Well, good to know.
Yeah. If you do start watching it, I'll tell you when to look out for that so that you can avoid it. It's pretty obvious though, because there's a sequence where they're walking through a place that's literally covered in cobwebs just before. Okay. Like they're just hanging everywhere, and I was like, "No, I'd just kill myself." If I woke up there, nah.
Sorry,
anyway.
I was just scrolling through Amazon Prime trying to see if I could find it, and something just popped up which was called Piranha Double D. and the blurb is prepare for double the action, double the terror, and double the D's.
Wait, does that mean extra big boobs, or does it mean double dick? I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way, you don't want piranhas near them.
No. I think that's the moral of the story. No one wants piranhas near double D's. Anyway.
No. So I do a little trumpet.
Trumpet me.
Musical music, B.
Trumpets. You fucking fridge magnet.
Shut up, Barry, you skunk.
That is going to be my new go-to.
I'm not even sure what fridge magnet means, but it feels offensive.
No, it does, doesn't it? I wait till I see Dave next, and when he says good morning, I just go, "Shut it, you fucking fridge magnet. What do you know?" Right, music musings. My music musings is from a little-known show from a little-known company called Disney.
Oh.
The show is called Moon Knight. I nearly forgot what the show was called.
I was thinking that's what you were going to say, but I didn't want to like jump the gun and say it myself in case I was way off base.
Yeah. So I've watched all of Moon Knight now. I really enjoyed it actually.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad that I kind of waited because I watched the first episode. I was a little bit unsure, so I waited and sort of bunched up a few episodes and then sort of chowed down on it, as they say, and really enjoyed it. And there was one episode in particular which a lot of why the show works is Oscar Isaac's performance.
Oh, honestly, give that man all the awards. Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Because on the face of it, it could have been awful. You give that to the wrong person, it could have been awful. I mean, you kind of had to get over the old Dick Van Dyke. Oh, blimey, Mary Poppins.
Do you know what? Me and Rich keep doing that around the head. We're just like, oh, bloody hell, I was just in a museum, innit? Fucking hell. So, oh, no, Stephen Grant, I don't know where I am, innit?
Yeah. So for people who don't know Moonlight, for people who don't know Moon Knight and wonder what the hell we're talking about. So basically, you've got the main character who's got different personalities, and we have Stephen Grant and we have Mark Spector. Mark Spector is an American kind of soldier of fortune adventurer, and then you have Stephen Grant, who's a bit of a bum but knows a lot about history and artifacts and stuff. And and obviously they're both played by Oscar Isaacs, but when he's doing Stephen Grant, he's doing it with a British accent, and he just sounds like Dick Van Dyke. I'm not saying. I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, some people have lost their minds over it. It didn't bother me. I just always find it funny whenever he was doing it, because it was all like, oh, God blimey, hey, oi.
Well, the thing is as well, like without spoiling it, it does make sense later. Like when you find out a spoiler, it makes sense where that voice comes from.
Yeah. Every time he came on, I kept wanting to go, he got to pick a pocket or two, boy. What's the use of worrying? He got to pick a pocket or two. Yeah, chibbity. God blimey, Mary Poppins. It's a bit tight, is that, isn't it? I could do this all day. And I'm from London, and I could do this all day. Anyway, yes. So the soundtrack is amazing in it, and it's by Hessam Nazir, and the track I've actually picked is called Constellation.
Oh, okay.
It's quite a pivotal point in the show, and I can't really say anymore because I don't want to give the game away. I'll say it to you.
So everyone, afterwards.
Yeah, so everyone else, even you, little Tommy, just put your hands over your ears, because me and Stace are going to have a little conversation that no one else is going to hear. And the music that they were playing, I remember at the time thinking, like, that is a cracking piece of music. And that's called obviously Constellation, because it's moving the constellations.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a I've listened to the album. The whole album is cracking, but Constellation is a cracking piece of music. And I'm out.
Nice. Unsurprisingly, I picked a track from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. One of the great things about this film is that Danny Elfman is clearly having a fucking whale of a time making the music. There's weird little flourishes and like guitars popping up where you wouldn't expect them, and like he's just clearly been given a really weird brief and gone yes. There was a couple of particular tracks that I really wanted to pick, but they've both got really spoilery titles. And one in particular was for a scene that made me genuinely sit up in the cinema and be like, what am I even fucking, this is phenomenal. So I definitely don't want to put the titles of those out into the universe, because it will ruin everybody's lives. So I just went fairly sensibly with the track that's called Main Titles, and it's the piece that plays at the start of the credits, because it's a fairly good indicator of like what the rest of the soundtrack is like, but it's a bit more normal. But the whole soundtrack is amazing, and everybody should listen to it. It's like, I mean, Danny Elfman is a great composer anyway, but he clearly had a lot of fun with the brief that he was given for this, and it sometimes I think with particular movies that the score shouldn't be noticeable really, because you want the film to be the thing that's standing out to you. But I think with a movie like Multiverse of Madness, when there's so much going on and like everything's just doolally, that sometimes it's great that the score's also there being like, hello, did you notice me? I'm fucking lunacy as well. Like, so yeah, I absolutely loved it. I've been listening to it like pretty much all the time while I'm at work, and it makes for a very dramatic answering of an email. So yeah, the Main Titles from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from me.
I should be very careful when I select a title to put onto the edit. So that I go and look at the entire soundtrack list. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance. I don't know if I'll even get a chance to see it at the cinema.
Yeah. I mean, if you can, I would suggest it, because there's just so much to see. But I mean, I'm not as beholden to cinema as a lot of other people are. Like, I know a lot of people have been banging the drum of like, oh, you know, we shouldn't even have streaming now and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, for a start, there's still a pandemic, lads, so how about shut up? But even if there wasn't, even if COVID was like a long distant memory, I still think there's something to be said for not having to pay squillions of pounds and being in the comfort of your own home and being able to like pause to go for a wheeze or toot while it's on, and you know, blame it on the chair like Barry does.
It is the chair. Well, I watched the Batman on premium rental, so I paid 16 quid. And you know, people can say what they want, they're like, oh, you know, I can't believe you're paying 60 quid. But I'm like, yeah, but hang on a minute. I haven't had to leave my house. My TV's fairly decent. I'm not bothered about it. It doesn't need to be. That's just me. That's not, I don't need to have a 60 squillion inch TV. I've got a decent sized TV. I can sit on my couch, my wife and my cats, who don't get out much, quite frankly, and they like a bit of Batman like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get popcorn and drinks, and we can sit there, chill, watch the film, and we can pause it if we want to go to the loo. And I really enjoyed watching it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I like I say, I do like the cinema, and there are certain things. Like, I was always going to see No Way Home at the cinema. There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that I was going to miss that. But there's a lot of things that I'm like, do you know what? Because the other thing as well for me and Rich is we've got to pay bus fare, we've got to pay for the tickets, we've got to pay, if we want any snacks there, or we'll probably end up eating out because of it. So it ends up being way more than 16 quid anyway for us to go out to the cinema. So I'm like, if I've got the option of just watching it at home, I probably will.
Yeah.
I like my house.
Yeah. I watched Shang-Chi like that, really enjoyed it.
Me too.
I did watch No Way at the cinema and really enjoyed watching it at the cinema. And if I get a chance to see Doctor Strange at the cinema, I will. But if I don't,
it won't be the end of the world. It'll just be dodging spoilers for however long.
Well, I mean, what I found was, although to be honest, I mean, with No Way Home, it got to a point. I was glad that I'd watched it because it got to a point when it came on DVD, they weren't even bothering about not spoiling the big things in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even Marvel were spoiling.
Yeah.
They were doing it before the film even came out. I stopped following so many Marvel-related people and things on Twitter and that. I've got everything muted because I was like, stop telling me who's going to be in it.
Yeah. But I think I can kind of deal with being told, someone's going to be in it or something like that, over being told actual plot points.
Yeah.
And they're relatively not always, but they're normally, if you can get about 2-3 weeks after a film's out, people have moved on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, but we'll see if we get around to it. Anywho,
have we got time for your Saturday morning comics?
I'm going to quickly mention Saturday morning comics because this has been on my list for not a little while, but mainly because it's for you, and I know, and you could, and by me saying that, you probably already know what I'm going to say. So my Saturday morning comics is The Last Ronin.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that.
So The Last Ronin is so it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic series. It's a 5-issue mini-series, but apparently it's unconnected to the current Turtles continuity, which was good because I haven't read a Turtles comic in decades. So the story's by the original creators. It's by Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, Tom Waltz, Andy World, Andy Kern, Ben Bates, and Sean Lee was on the letters. And this is set, I don't know how much you know, but basically this is set in the future. Mm-hmm. And you've got the last of the 4 turtles who is on a revenge mission, basically to avenge the death of his brothers. It's not really a spoiler because it's it's the clues in the title.
I think I have read issue 1 and immediately it's clear that there's only one of them left.
Yeah. But what I loved about it, and the more I read issue 1, what I realized was I had no idea what turtle it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was clear by the end of issue 1, and I think one of the reasons I didn't carry on reading it at the time was because I was worried that it wasn't going to be Donatello, and that would upset me too much. I wasn't in the right headspace for a dead Donatello. That's really sad, but it's true.
No, that's fair enough.
He's always dying. God, I can't do it. I can't do it again. Kevin Eastman, stop killing Donatello.
I can neither confirm nor deny who the last Ronin actually is. You do find out. I think you find out in issue 2. I think you do. But honestly, because we had a conversation a little while ago about us both kind of really struggling with comics and moving away from comics, whatever. This comic I devoured, and firstly, what I loved about it was the fact that it was a relatively self-contained story. Yeah, you can make the argument they've left something. Well, they have left some stuff open, but for me, I'm like, I don't have to go back, which is what I quite like. They told a story, and I could jump off at that point.
Yeah.
Because you can make the argument that no story truly ends. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it had a beginning, middle, and end, and I was happy with that. If I hear really good things about stuff they do afterwards, I might come back to it. But 5-issue run, I thought, was brilliant. The art, I thought, was fantastic. The writing is just, it reminded me of, every time I kept turning the page, I kept going, this is how you do the fucking Turtles. Because I grew up reading the original sort of black and white comics.
Yeah.
And this was kind of predates the TV show.
Yeah.
And I always used to struggle with the TV show because it was all happy and, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's get some we got a van and, Cowabunga dude and all this, Whereas in the comics I was reading, they were fucking people up, man.
Oh, mate.
And I always remember in the, I think it's the first trade, it was a collected trade, and it ends with a fight with Shredder. And they give him a proper beat down. And there's a bit where Raphael throws his sides at him. He's like, dodge these, master. And he takes him out. And I was like,
yeah, the comics, because I was too young for the comics when they came out. In fact, I might not have even been born yet. I can't remember when they came out. But when I went back and read them, like, God, must have been like early 2000s. I remember thinking, which turtles are these? I'm not used to these ones. I like them though. They're good, but oof.
Yeah, I mean, and this very, very much goes back to that.
Yeah.
It very much goes back to what I loved about, because they're ninjas, and I think that's what I loved about this, is it really goes back to that being ninja, everything that comes with it, and honor and duty and legacy and stuff like that. And it's the fact, and again, it's a bit of a mild spoiler, but it's the fact that the other turtles are kind of still around, but they're more kind of voices.
Yeah.
I loved it. Phenomenal. Didn't put a foot wrong. And I all the way through, I kept thinking, Stace, you need to read this.
I'm going to have to pick it up. I'm just very scared of it. Like, I mean, this is the sort of headspace that I'm in. Did you see that it must have been about, oh God, like 10 years ago now? Some dude did some like Turtles fan art, and it was it was each of the turtles mourning the other three that had died. And like the Donatello one was him just like sitting in a crumpled heap having a cry, and his bow staff is like wedged into the ground, and it's got the other three's bandanas flying off it like flags. And I can't even look at those.
Yeah, I mean,
shit like that makes me too sad. So I am worried about it.
It's a fantastic comic, but I mean, from that, hearing you say that, it's a tough read.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But I loved it. I love the comic. I want to see it as an animated film. That would be awesome. Not as live action. I want to see it as an animated film with the right sort of animation.
Some of the animated films have been really. Did you see Batman versus the Ninja Turtles?
Right.
That's really good. That is.
Right. That a film with the title like Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever it was called had no right to be as good as it was. Had no right whatsoever.
Oh, it was so good. So good. Oh, I am definitely going to read this, I think, but I need to. And because the thing is, right, I've cried at Turtles comics before. I'm not going to lie. It's happened. So, I just need to get myself in the right headspace for dead turtles.
Get myself in the right headspace for dead turtles. Right, I'm there now. Hook me up with some dead turtles. I'm ready.
Do you know what, though? I actually think it's not so much the dead turtles, it's the dealing with the one that's still around, because I feel like that's going to be the saddest thing in the world. It's
To be
just
fair,
like,
he's got his hands full. The whole
oh,
event.
he's keeping busy.
He's keeping busy. He's now, he's got no time to be moping about. He's got shit to do.
Fair.
You have
Fair.
reminded me though. I need to go after we finish. I'm going straight to YouTube to watch Batman versus the Shredder again.
Oh, mate.
That was a proper fight.
So good. Oh, what a great movie.
And then they're freeing Ra's al Ghul, like that weren't enough. Do you know what I mean? Have that, lads. Go on,
Oh, dear
enjoy
me.
yourself. Fucking fridge magnets.
Fridge magnets, the lot of them.
Yeah. Right. I think we should.
Oh.
We should stop with your rambling.
Let's just do a 21 skidoo. Hi everybody, it's been lovely talking at you again. Come and talk at us on Twitter at Stacey's Parlour and at Geek Syndicate, or send an email to staceandbarry@gmail.com, or I don't know, do some semaphore and hope that we see it. And have a lovely couple of weeks before we speak to you again. Love you all. Ta-ra a bit, you fucking slag.
Fucking fridge magnets.
Fucking fridge magnets. I love that. I don't know what it means, but it's so good.
It is, isn't it?
Fucking fridge magnet.
Such good. Anyway, bye all. But that's
Bye.
such contempt. Fucking magnet.